is fabulous Debbie Kilsheimer, the only person I know who can turn a bank reconciliation into a bedtime story you actually want to hear the end of. Together, we spotlight the bookkeepers and accounting pros who keep businesses running, paychecks landing, and owners out of jail. You deserve to feel proud, confident, and seen, preferably in that order. We have a phenomenal guest today. Geni Whitehouse is joining us, and trust me, you're going to want to take notes. Actually, 2 sets of notes, one for wisdom and one for one-liners. But first, here's Deb with our partner of the week.
Well, thanks, Donna, and we're so excited Geni is here, but we're really even excited, too, about our partner of the week. Again, is Alicia Katz-Pollock with her site, Royal Wise, and she's doing a class on whether advanced accounting is worth it, the advanced product is worth it. You know, QuickBooks Online Advanced is one of those products that people either pay for without really using it at all or avoid it entirely because they're convinced it's not worth the money. So if you've ever wondered what actually makes Advanced different and whether those features matter for you or your clients, my friend Alicia has a class on May 26th that breaks this down in plain English. It's really a very practical way to understand what you're paying for, what's useful, and where Advanced can generally make a difference. She's going to give demos of advanced-only features, including deferred revenue recognition, advanced reporting with pivot tables, and spreadsheet sync. So instead of guessing whether it's worth the upgrade, go check out Alicia's class on May 26th at royalwise.com. You'll come away understanding when QBO Advanced makes sense, when it's not worth it, and how to get the most value from it if you are already paying for it. If the live session has already happened by the time you hit this, it's okay. You can still watch the recording and get the full value of the training, including CPE. Click the link in the description below and sign up at royalwise.com with Alicia, who is brilliant when it comes to explaining all that QBO has to offer. But
we have the link in the description, so you can go there.
Right. And we're so thrilled Geni is here. I tell you, Geni is one of the people I idolize. You know, I don't know where I first saw you the first time, but I sat there like googly-eyed.
Sleater. It was a Sleater con.
Yeah.
A long time ago. It was a long time ago.
I thought, oh, if I could grow up and be like her.
That's the same way when I saw her the first time, too. And then she talked to me, and I was like, oh.
I know. He's one of the accounting superstars, because she gets out on that stage, faces her fears, and does it. But I want to know first, how did you even get into accounting? What got you into this profession?
My math teacher. I was in 7th grade, and I went to my math teacher, and I already loved math. And I said, what do you do for a living if you like math? And she said, you either become a teacher or a CPA. And I said, which one makes the most money? And she said, CPA. And I went, okay, I'm going to do that. And my dad sold tax books for Commerce Clearinghouse. So I had already been updating those tax books. It was when you had to take the old pages out and put the new ones in. And so I thought, this is cool stuff. That's how nerdy I already was as a kid. And he also sent me out to client offices. So I'd go into CPA firms and sit there in the library and like update these books. And I'm like, these are nice offices. I like this. I want to work in a place like this. So that was it. I decided at that point, everything I did from that point forward was about becoming a CPA and a partner in a firm.
And then you became a partner in a firm, didn't you?
I eventually became one and quit the next day. Yes, Deb. Thanks for bringing that up.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
What made you do that? What was the spark that that said? What was it that made you think like that?
That made me think that I wanted to be a partner. Made me quit.
I can't do this. What was that?
15 years to get to the goal, and during that entire period, I was heads down focused on the goal. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to work harder and harder, longer hours to be average. I'm going to keep doing this. And I would look around and go, God, these people are good at this. And it's taking me way longer to not be that great at it. And I was doing tax. So I started in tax and did tax pretty much the whole time. But during that period, I had discovered software. I started doing software. I actually was a controller in the middle of that time. I wasn't 15 years at the same firm. I was at Deloitte, and then I went to corporate tax, and then I did some other stuff. But I built my own firm around Peachtree software. I would go out into small businesses and help them fix their payroll or their, whatever. And I'd go into their offices. And somebody's wife would have been given the software and said, now you're the accountant. And they were like sitting there going, what is this stuff? And what am I doing? And what are we talking about? And I would walk in, and invariably they would act like I was the FBI there to arrest. I'd have my briefcase, my nerdy little gray suit with the, the stupid bow tie we all wore back then, the little nerdy thing. And I'd walk in, and they would go, I'm not an accountant. Like I was there, like they were surrendering. I was going to come, haul them off. And I would go, good, because we don't need two of us. And they would laugh, and then they would relax. And so I would work with them. I'd get in there, and I would really understand the business by going out and doing the software stuff. And I went, this is what I want to do. So I built a practice of my own, doing that and then doing the tax and the accounting. And I finally realized I was working all the time and not making any money because I didn't want to bill them for all the stuff that I did because they needed me so desperately. They couldn't afford me. So why should I charge them when I was the easy stuff that I was doing all night and ignoring my kids and all of that? And I finally went, this is stupid. I'm not making any money. I'm not billing for all this work. I've got more work than I can handle. And I took it to a firm that had a mutual client. I said, look, I got all these clients. I'm bringing in all this work. I need help. I'll just bring the practice in and join your team. And they said, great, you can be a tax person. So I came in as a tax person, brought in all this work. They doubled my rates. And no one left. Not one of my clients left or double my rates, which tells you how stupid I was. But they saw me as a tax person. But the stuff that I loved was going out to the clients and doing the software.
Right.
So I kept doing the tax. I was working all day and all night. I got the award for working the most hours in the firm, which is a great distinction to have. Not that I was the best, not that I was the brightest. No, I just worked a lot. And so when I made partner, I looked around and went, they see me as a tax person. I'm not very good at it. I work all the time. I'm never going to see my kids. I go home completely wiped out every single day, drained and exhausted. And the only part I liked was working with the clients and that stuff I was doing on the site with the software. So I made partner, and it was the first time in that whole 15-year journey that I ever went, do I like this? It was like, I have to get there. I have to get there. I have to get there, which is a good thing in some ways because it kept me focused. But finally I went, this is it, and it's not getting any better. And so I finally went, I'm walking out. And I woke up in the middle of the night after that. And I was, I just went to bed, and I woke up and wrote down my whole, manifestos, kind of like Tom Cruise. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and you're going to pay me for the work I brought in. And I'm going to do work for this one client, and presented it the next day, and it was the best day of my life. I walked out like the clouds, the 5,000-pound anvils I was carrying around on each shoulder lifted.
So you started your own firm doing that? You went and did your own firm with just that focus on the accounting piece?
It was what? When I
left the partnership and you started your own firm?
I went to work for a client. I became a software trainer. So I left accounting and went into high tech. And when I liked the software stuff better, and I became a project management software trainer, which I loved it from the first minute I started doing it. And then through that, I started doing PeopleSoft implementations, and then I joined a software company to build their CPA program. So that was Navision Software. So I made the whole shift into tech. And then I started speaking. I did my first speech at the software company.
Right? And you manifested that too. You made a website.
I didn't know that was anything that I ever wanted to do. I hated to do that. I was like, don't ask me a question. I'm not going to say anything. And I was like in the back of the room. But I had so much passion for other people to not feel like I felt for those years that I wanted to make it better. That's what led me into the tech role. And also inside the tech company, I realized not only are accountants bad communicators, but so are software people. We're both nerdy, techie. We have the same communication problem. So I was really focused on, I got to fix this because people are missing out on great things because of the bad communication. So I really had this passion to do that. I didn't ever have a passion to be a speaker. I had a message I had a passion to get a message out there, to make things better for other people. And that's what enabled me to overcome my complete dread and lack of talent in being a speaker, but forced me to go and try to get good at it so I could make an impact on people.
And I know you signed up and did a TED Talk, and you were...
Well, that was later, but the first thing I did was signed up. I did my first speech in the software company, and people laughed, and the tension in the room, because I was selling them something they didn't want to buy. I was talking to resellers about why they should partner with accountants. And they had already all told me they hated accountants and didn't want to work with them. So I'm going, this is going to be a good job. So I got a comedy clip to start my talk, and it was Monty Python, the Lion Tamer clip. And when I played it, before I talked, I said, I interviewed a bunch of you before this session, and here's what you told me you thought about accountants. And basically, the clip shows we're a bunch of nerds, and nobody wants to talk to us, and we have bad communication skills. And I played it, and they all laughed, and then it was like the whole angst of the room evaporated. We were on the same team once they laughed. And then I said, this might be who we are, but if a client has the question, they call me before you. And if I say no about your software, your deal is dead.
Right.
And they were like, so that was and I went, oh my God, I need to do more of this, because this is how I get through to people. So I went in search of stand-up comedy training, and that's what really gave me the confidence to do more speaking, but changed everything for me. And that was the most horrifying thing ever.
You're now or an accountant now, which is, what do you do now? What's the main thrust that you do now?
Both. I have it all combined. So I work in a CPA firm. I have a training company. I'm president of a tech association, and I'm a speaker. So
do you,
any given day, they all come together.
You ever sleep?
But I'm all of that.
A lot of hours.
That's kind of a lot of hours. But it's what we do, right? We love something and we're passionate. We work whatever it takes to do it. And the fact that I can bring it all together. So I work with wineries in Napa Valley. When I find a need there, I go to a tech company and try to solve it, and then I speak about whatever I learned from that. When I'm speaking, I talk about the screwy things we do with wineries. And when I'm at the tech meetings, I learn about new tech, and I get in front of people that are facing the same challenges. It magically comes together, and it's a lot of fun.
Do you go to who do you speak to? Like
what?
Like,
who do I speak to?
Yeah, like business owners, or where do you get the gig?
So in my CPA role, which is part-time, I speak to winery owners about finance and accounting. I train non-accountants how to do numbers and how to manage their books and how to improve their outcomes. I apply the advisory training that I now teach.
Okay, tell us
every day with wineries.
Advisory training. Tell us all about that.
So that's the Impactful Advisor. Donna knows all about that. She's been through the training.
I did all the training on that. It would have helped immensely.
It's what you do when there's a client across from you, which nobody is teaching. We're all going, you got to do advisory, and everybody's calling advisory whatever it is they think it is, like creating a bunch of metrics. That's not advisory. Advisory is helping the client move the needle forward in the direction of their dreams. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. I sit down with wineries and go, what are you trying to do? How can I help you? Do your teams understand what you're trying to do? And they go, no. Okay, let's train your teams. Let me show them what they need to do to make these results happen on your financials. Let me teach them. I have an apple tree analogy that I use to explain financial statements. I have all kinds of tools, but it's all about breaking these concepts down so people can do stuff with them, which is where we fail as accountants.
Great stories when you teach this stuff, because I've sat and every time you speak at any conference, I'm sitting right in the front row.
I know, and I always look for you, Deb. If I can't make Deb laugh, I'm in trouble. And the way I met Deb was because you won the contest for the best costume every year at the SleaderCon. And so I knew you because you stood out, which is key. Yeah. You want to get known, stand out, right?
That's what I did. That's why I did it.
I know, and it worked. And you got free tickets, and you were, and everybody knew you. And I got up on the keynote and said, "Remember that?" And I showed your picture. Yes. This is how you make a brand. Yes. It's amazing. Yeah.
I just wanted a free ticket.
I know, but everybody remembers that, and it was amazing.
Leader looking around at all the people in the Sleader going, they were like so far above me, I thought. And I thought, how am I going to get known here? I thought, I know. I'll do a
Every single person on the planet, Deb, has that same thought in their head. Me, all of us. I'm going, what am I doing here? What do I know? I don't know anything. Every single one of us has the same thought, and we think we're the only one.
Right.
And that is the biggest thing holding back most accountants from doing advisory. I don't know anything. I don't know enough about, in my case, wine. I didn't know anything about wine. How am I going to talk to people who have wineries? I drink Franzia in a box, y'all.
How can they learn advisory? Is it something we can learn, or?
They can take a class. There's all kinds of people training it. My class is at the Impactful Advisor. You could do it yourself. You go through modules. My class has 100 tools of stuff you can do. The reason it's my class now is because I took it back in 2004, I think. And I was like, this is what I should have done. If I'd done this in that job in the CPA firm, I would have, first of all, ruled the world because I would have had every client imaginable. And I would have had fun.
Right.
And I would have made a difference for the clients, which I believe, and I know it's what you two believe.
Yes.
We want to do stuff that matters for the client. We want to make their lives better. And
Right.
doing a tax return has never improved anyone's life other than keeping them out of jail. And so I wanted tools. When I found this, like, this is exactly what I needed. Here's where I start. Here's what I say. Ask these questions. And now you will know stuff about the client that we never asked. Like, what do you care about? Not, let's jump on your P&L and make profit improve. They don't care about that in my industry.
Right.
Something else.
I
We
know.
think we know, and we don't ask. And that's our biggest failing.
I remember I was at Intuit Connect one year, and I was on a panel, and there was 4 of us, and they were talking. People were asking about, well, when do you get together and discuss the P&L with the client? I said, I don't. I mean, you thought pitchforks were coming out. You don't go over and tell the client, go, they don't care about that.
They don't give a darn about that. Ask them what they care about and go there, wherever it is.
If I see something wackadoo, I'll give them a call. I mean, if they won't, I
Yeah.
can certainly produce it. But, what is it they want from their business? Their business is going to deliver the dream that they had when they started it. Do you know that answer? Who knows that? Nobody knows that answer. That's what you need to find out. And then you can talk about what the P&L is telling you to meet that goal.
But this is the problem, Deb. And Donna, you know this. You've heard me say this a million times. So up to you, Deb. We think we have to prove how smart we are to be successful as an advisor.
Right.
And we waste all kinds of energy trying to figure out, what do I need to say so I look smarter than I really am? Because I'm not really that smart. I don't really understand wine. I don't know what that red stuff is in that glass over there. What kinds of, and when you shift to, how can I make these people feel smarter? It changes everything. And
Right.
that's what my tools are about. It's asking questions to uncover what they already know for them and get rid of the chaos and the, oh my God, I'm in trouble. I don't understand. I'm ashamed that I don't know my numbers better is what your clients have. And you come in and make them feel even stupider by going, what's your KPI and what's your balance sheet say and what's your retained earnings over time? And
Percentages. Like,
What's your ROI
Yeah.
on this? What's your ROI on that? What's your return rate over here? What's this?
What's your
product?
run
It's
rate?
They're like, what? Yeah, run rate. That's always a fun one.
and
They're
and
like,
let's talk about EBITDA, y'all. I love EBITDA.
I'm like, what the hell's EBITDA?
This is what we do. We alienate ourselves further. And again, that's why tech was such a great place for me to go after accounting, because we did the same thing with software.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of ODBC connector do you have? How's your B tree looking today? Who cares? What's your LLM? We're still doing it.
I'm famous for sitting in the front row. If you talk, I said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I did that once
Exactly.
at a conference I was at, and everybody, I was in the front row, as I always am. And I said, I don't know what you're saying. And then she talked. I said, I still don't know what you're saying. So
This
people
is-
came up to me afterwards and said, I'm so glad you said that because I had no idea what she was saying either. I go, how come I'm the only one
They-
speaking up?
Because you're the only one brave enough to admit it. The rest of us are going, well, everybody else knows what she's talking about, and that's what they're doing in companies. Every owner is going, well, I don't know what she's talking about with this balance sheet thing, but I'm going to act like I know it. Everybody below them is doing the same thing. So you have an
Right.
entire organization of people pretending
Right.
they have a clue what this information means and that they know what to do with it. None of them know what to do with it unless we help them get there. And that's
Now-
what's fun. I mean,
A lot
I
of
see it every day.
bookkeepers that are doing the transactional data where they're getting it in, they don't think they can do advisory because, well, I don't have a college degree.
credential.
I don't, and I'm thinking, but that's not true. You're in the weed. You see what's
Baloney.
going on. So what can
They
you
know the pain. They feel the pain.
Right.
They are in the best position. They don't need a credential or anything. They need to listen, ask questions. The owner of that business has the information. If we can help them unlock it and
Right.
leverage it to do what they're trying to do.
So even
And
the
that's where-
most basic bookkeeper can do advisory. That's what I've always said. Because
They need some tools, though. I needed them. I never understood what really affected cash flow until I started doing models where I could move levers and go, oh, AR days. I get it now.
now, how
I
about
can sell a bunch of stuff and
then-
not collect.
What about AI? Are you using that a lot now?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I'm not using it enough. I'm still worried about security for client data. I'm not doing enough with that, and I don't think the tools are good enough on some of the problem we have today is we got piecemeal AI this and AI that on every little thing. And it's not great on any of the ones that have it like that. And then we have great things. I love Claude. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing co-work because I'm afraid about the files and the AI agentic part. But I mean, the graphics and the integrated capabilities are blowing my mind. So I'm doing a lot of analysis of non-client stuff.
Right.
That's helping. I mean, like, and I've written Python code that blows my mind too. Like, I had to do Python code and search through a bunch of folders and a bunch of files. And I wanted to pull out all the questions from my training stuff in one document. I wrote some code, I had to mess around, and I took programming in college. So code is like, oh, this is cool stuff. Look at all these codes. But it corrects your ed. I go, that didn't work. Okay, change this, and it worked, and you run it like through. And I got 250 questions on a spreadsheet in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, one of the best things, if you go to a client meeting, I always say, could I record this? They never say,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
So I recorded it.
me too.
Come back.
I've got a transcript. Yeah.
Say, summarize this. What were the pain points they were talking about? Come up with a proposal and a price list that I can send a proposal what they want. Now, I never talked about how many bank accounts, how many transaction counts.
Who cares?
Who cares? They don't care.
Yeah.
People don't care how long something takes you. And if you're charging by length of time, keep using a paper and a pencil.
That's right. Because the slower you are, the better it is for revenue.
Yeah, I know. I would say, if people charged on time, I like my steak well done. My husband likes his rare. Mine should cost more. Takes longer to cook.
Exactly. And we say we charge on time. We don't do value pricing. But what we do is, and I did this in my own firm and inside the firm when I was there, I keep track of the hours. I look at how many hours and what the rate is and go, that took me too long. I'm not going to bill for this. I'm going to write it down. The only value billing we ever did was write downs. I never wrote anything up. Well, that was worth more than what I did. I always took off because I was always ashamed of how long it took me to do everything I've ever done. And I always wrote down my hour. Look at that. That's not worth that. I only did this.
I know.
So we're not doing hourly billing. We're doing pessimistic, approximately hours billing, which is the worst case scenario.
Try a bill with hours on it, and it says it took me an hour and a half to do a bank rec. They go, I don't think it should have taken you that long. I'm only going to pay you for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. If those are the wrong clients.
Yeah. I never billed ever. When I went on my own 25 years ago, I said I will never keep track of my time, ever. So when I hear...
Me too. I don't either.
I don't care. I'm with my people that work for me. I don't care how long it takes. Just get it done. Get it
done, and what's it worth?
I don't care if you work in the middle of the night. As long as it's done, what do I care when you work?
I think a lot more people are doing that, but we still haven't embraced it as an entire profession. There's still too many things tied into the billable hour. We know how to think, plan, bill, budget. Everything we were trained at traditional firms was around hourly billing, and to unstick that is a massive shift that people are still trying to do, but it is better and better and better. I mean, I'm encouraged.
Yeah, I did a pricing panel with Nancy McClellan about 2 weeks ago, and one of the questions she asked us was, "How do you know you're profitable?" I go, "Look at my bank balance."
I have this thing called the P&L.
Right.
Yeah.
I have this thing called the P&L that tells me here's what I build and here's what I need to spend, and I got money left.
I mean, my bank balance last year was $1 million. At the end of this year, it's $2 million. I guess I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I keep metrics and I track it. I go, okay, so to what end? How much time does that take you to do that? For what result? Well, I just like to know. Okay, if that's I can figure that stuff.
That's what our clients are doing. We're measuring everything right now. And now we got AI so I can get 10,000 measures faster. And what am I doing with it? Nothing. And my team's not doing anything with it. And it's crazy. We have this, especially as accountants, this tendency to count the things that we can count for some reason.
Mm-hmm. We're accountants.
Whether it matters or not. And it's not changing any lives. And I know, it's crazy, but it's shifting. The advisory, at least the language that we're using now, we're saying we're doing advisory, even though I guarantee you most people aren't, because they aren't impacting the clients.
Right.
They're still counting stuff and showing a bunch of other data that nobody does anything with,
right,
and calling it advisory.
So they
So,
can how to do
get
this
there.
by taking your class. And where can they sign up to take your class?
It's at theimpactfuladvisor.com.
Okay.
I'll throw a link in the description too for that.
And I have it just a basic couple of ways that you can spread the payment over a few number of months. I've also teamed up with Universal Accounting, and they offer a bundled package that includes the training, and you can spread the training payments out over a year and do some other stuff, but you can get it as part of a bundle. So you can go either way with other stuff if you're and there are a lot of people who are starting bookkeeping practices and want to start out right. So Universal Accounting has a lot of that training on how do you do bookkeeping and build a business, and then people are taking the advisory through there, so you can get it either way.
Yeah, that's Roger Connect out of Utah, who's fabulous.
Yep.
Yeah, Roger's amazing. Yeah.
You just got back from
Yeah.
GrowCon. I went last year. I got to spend 3 days with Geni in Utah last year.
It's a beautiful place. And did you ever get outside the building? I never get to go see the cities.
We went and I found it was funny because I did my speech and somebody came up and he said, I live in Longwood, which is 10 minutes from me. Really? So he had a car and he goes, let's go. So we went out to dinner and we went to
Cool.
falls. We went all over the place. So the next day we really went and had fun. You know,
That's fantastic. And that's the thing that I never build into the trips, and I've got to do more of that. You got to get out and see the sights more. But
I know. I
getting
always
there.
go back to the office. In fact, this scaling's coming up, and I know Donna's staying an extra 4 days to go to Disney World.
All right, go Donna.
The family's flying out at the end of the conference, and I'm all, you can go for the conference and watch. They're like, no. We're gonna fly out the end of the conference.
I know. So
I'm
And
sure.
I'm gonna be mom for 4 days.
So I'm going to go to. I'm going to spend 4 days with Donna at Disney World. We're going to Disney World. You know,
That's fantastic. And you guys, I'm sure, are going to be running all over the conference doing different things and talking to people. And,
It's
I'm
conference.
fully booked. I don't think we can fit one more thing. In fact, I'm double booked on something. So I don't think we
wow.
can fit one more
Yeah,
thing
because I'm
in.
teaching a class. Both of Donna and I are doing a walking tour.
oh, cool.
The main stage Monday. What else am I doing?
I'm in the
Oh, a
theater.
theater. We're both doing a
We
theater.
have 3 sponsored live bookkeeper interviews by our conference sponsor, which is Right Tool. We have 2 vendor in the booth interviews going, I think.
Fantastic.
And then we have a whole bunch of invitations for dinners that
Yeah.
we could possibly do.
Yeah.
So I have to.
You have to pick the best one. You got to pick the
Yeah,
best one. So now, you guys, I have to be you two when I grow up.
No.
We just combine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Literally, what we're doing is we've got our practice now that we've combined. We've got our YouTube that we combined. We've got our, except I think in the pre-show about LinkedIn, and we're just kind of combining it all into one and having a blast.
We're having a ball. I mean,
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that we get to have this much fun?
no.
Who
Yeah.
knew back then when we were struggling to do whatever crappy thing we were doing back then?
I never liked sitting in when I worked at a CPA. I said, why are we doing it like this? Oh, because that's how we always done it. Well, I quit. I thought, I'm not doing this anymore.
That's
You know. And then when I run a firm, like, I want to run a firm. And that was 25 years ago.
it's amazing. It's amazing what's out there, and the technology keeps making it easier and easier for us to do what we want to do. The conversations with clients,
I'm loving
training
it.
with teams.
I mean,
Yeah.
I use it for everything.
I know. We don't Google search anymore. We do everything with a search with our AI tool of choice. And
I know every day I hit my quad limit. Okay, you can't work anymore, Debbie, till 5 o'clock.
I know that's depressing. I know.
I know.
I'm not going to
I
pay
mean-
extra.
I'm in Claude jail right now for another 20 minutes, and then I'll get out. I'm out in 20 minutes. I'm like so happy because I got to finish something.
5:40. I have some major stuff to take care of. You know.
I know. What can I put in here real quick? That's when I flip over to ChatGPT and do the less important
Yep.
stuff. I do Claude for a while, then I go over to ChatGPT, and then
Yeah, so sometimes I'll like last I ran something. I go, okay, I'm going to run a thing, but then it resets. Okay, now I'm going to run it again. So I'm like waking up in the middle of the night running all this stuff. And I thought, just pay. You can pay for more, Debbie. You can afford it. Well, you know how we accountants don't like to pay for anything.
the danger is that we do what we did with technology. is that we automate stuff so we can do more, and we still work longer. So we shove more stuff into our day and work longer because we got all these tools and we can get a lot more done, but we're doing a lot more.
It's so much fun.
I know.
It's so much
But
fun. That's the prompt, and then it comes back with the answer. That you would spend days figuring out.
I think it makes you think better too.
I think it makes.
Come
I
back
think
with an answer. At least
it makes
me.
what better?
It makes
You make
me
me
think
think.
better. So I think better because of it. I'll put
Right.
a prompt in. It might not be a really great prompt.
Oh,
I'll come
yeah.
back with something and I'll go like, oh, I didn't think of that. So let me rewrite that
So
prompt, and then I'll start rewriting. I'm thinking so much better and so much clearer now. Yeah,
So the question is, who's training who, right?
I know.
We think
right?
we're training, it's training us to be better prompt writers. Every time we put one in, oh, I should have asked that. Next time I'm going to ask this thing on top of that. It's amazing.
But because it does all the drudgery stuff, it allows me the time to think about what I'm looking at.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, so I
Exactly.
think these people, you know, they don't really
I know.
care that it, you know, when it takes me so long to, you know, before when you get a spreadsheet, a bank statement from a client for, you know, in a catch up for 3 years, you know, you have to export it, do this, format it, do, you know.
Oh God, 50 steps. I had to do something in QBO. Oh, I had to redo the chart, and I had to map the chart accounts over to the inventory accounts, and I was going to do it, and I put it in there, and it was like 5 minutes. I had everything back the way I wanted it.
Exactly.
Realigned all the charts. I mean, it's just like amazing. That kind of crap where you write a macro to parse this and add that and do this thing, and we, you know, and part of it's like, well, I used to like doing that. I like to take 40 hours to create some code to do something. But it's amazing. It's like, God, I don't want to spend my time doing that, recoding some number system on the chart when I could just, it's
So it's
incredible.
a world out there. You have to be willing to experiment and try and make mistakes.
You have to, and you can get, yeah, and you can get kind of sucked into the rabbit hole of, ooh, what if we do this? Ooh, let's change that banner to blue and make this purple and turn that sideways and upside down on this and do that. And
Oh, it's
you
fun.
can get,
When
I know it is.
I
It's
did
like
my-
pivot tables.
And then, do you ever do this? I did my walking tour map, and I pulled it up, and I started to. I go, wait, let me see if GPT can. I said, take out all the lines and the numbers. I just want the square boxes, and then put in the vendors that I'm going to see, and then
Yes.
map them out in the order, efficient order on the map for the walking tour, and it did it.
It can. It's amazing. And if it doesn't have the right info, you add some more stuff and you refine it until you get what you need.
Yeah.
But the speed of which you can do all of that, I mean, just finding stuff, like the thing with the questions. I had like 60 documents I was going to open up, get the question. I mean,
I know.
it's incredible.
I mean, I like
Yeah.
a YouTube that I want to listen to, and it's an hour long. I'll go to Gemini. Summarize this into 3 main points. Bing, bong, bong.
Exactly.
Okay, good. I don't have to watch the video.
That's what everybody's doing to us right now. That's what they're doing to us right. That's the
That's what's
challenge, right?
happening here.
Everybody's doing it. Every email you get now, you're going, "Oh, this was written in GPT," and you can. We're all doing it.
I know. It's fun.
I mean, you watch a LinkedIn feed. Oh my God, it's like just
Oh, yeah.
GPT, Chat GPT, Chat.
I know.
One after the other,
just-
and they say the same thing. It's
I
like,
do like
This
that.
is-
it's embarrassing.
I
This
used
is why. This is the return of personality, where now it matters again.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But personality, being your true self, saying stupid crap that wouldn't be Chat GPT, having a basset hound on a slide, which no Chat GPT was ever going to create. I mean, wearing a weird costume and standing out as Slater, and Donna doing what you're doing in your emails with really cool stories about life and what's really happening and the struggles that you. I mean, all that's what sets us apart today. And you know what? Handwritten notes are back.
I know.
How many hand? Because you're not. Can you even get through your email in a day? There's so much garbage coming into email, which I know I should have an AI tool that does that for me. Is anybody using Fixer or one of those tools, or Superhuman or
I
something
have
on
a
email?
process.
I look at them and I go,
Not
okay,
a tool.
one more
I have a
thing I have to learn. I don't have the capacity right now to do it.
Yeah, me
No,
either.
it's a
And I
really
tried
good
it, it
tool
didn't
for-
work. And I have multiple email brand
Me too.
buckets, and it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
go across them all. I have to do it on my phone, which would probably be the way to do it. to
Right.
go
Yep.
somehow.
Yeah.
I
I
Just
did it.
delete.
I think it's a tool. Email for me is a tool, is a process, not a tool that fix it.
Yeah.
It's a process. And what Geni just said, the phone is the best process. to manage your
It,
email when you have
it is.
multiple
You can
brands.
delete a whole chunk on the iPhone, stuff that you can't do in Outlook on a desktop, which is where most of
Yeah,
my stuff
and
is.
that's what I do. My email is totally managed by my phone, and right now there is 0 things in my inbox unless
Oh my
something came in.
gosh.
In the last hour, there is 0 things. They're all handled. Now I don't answer them all right away,
I just
but
need them.
depending on what they are in their
90% of it
place,
is
ready
garbage.
to go.
Yeah, I mean, can I have a demo of this product? No.
I know.
Yeah,
And all the
that's easy.
political
Nothing-
stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No.
It's crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
we're in
I think I
California
have.
right now, so it's crap all the time for us.
I know.
So much information. Well, anyway, we're at time. Can you believe that? This to have our just
Oh my gosh.
So-
Yes, goes.
final question. What's the one thing you would share with people to inspire them to do whatever?
The biggest thing that I try to fight is the belief that we have as professionals that we have to be the experts on our clients' business. And the shift we have to make is that our clients are the experts, and the smarter we make them feel about what they already know, the more value we have for that client. And that is our goal. To me, that's what advisory is about. Help the client see how smart they are and give them the insights they need to make better decisions.
Right. That's perfect. Well, thank you so much, Geni, for taking your time to
Thank you.
spend
It's
with
a
us
blast.
soon. And I can't wait to see you in June at
I will
Scale.
see you there. I'm not going to be there as long as you are, but I'll find you.
Are you going to speak on stage this time? Last year you had a great keynote.
I'm going to be in a breakout. I'm just going to be in a breakout this time. You can only hear me so many times.
Oh no, I hear you all day.
We'll find your breakout. We'll be
find-
there.
What day are you teaching?
All right.
Do you know what day you're
I'm-
teaching?
I don't know. I think it's Tuesday. Is that
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good day. We're more open on that day.
Yeah, we're more open that day.
All right.
All
Okay.
right.
I'll send you the stuff.
Sign
All
us up.
right. Look for me.
All right. Well, thanks for spending time with us today on Bookkeepers on Fire. If something from this conversation struck you, carry it forward, write it down, tattoo it somewhere reasonable. Your work matters, your voice matters, you matter, even on the days when your client expenses a spray tan and swears it was for a headshot. So if you're a bookkeeper, accounting pro who wants to be a guest on Bookkeepers on Fire, the sign-up link to get on the waiting list is in the show notes. And yes, we have a waiting list. Now, we can't wait to see you next time. Go close those books like the unpaid hero you secretly are. And have a wonderful week.